Well, here's a bit of a change. Let you know how this goes in approximately an hour. So I'm going to start at the front of the machine basically, and we'll talk our way back along. Now, we have to bear in mind that I've only made 20 bales with it, so I suppose I don't have a huge judgment on it yet. I do have a judgment. There are some things I like and some things I think could maybe be a little bit improved upon already, but anyway, we'll go through it now, and we'll be able to look back throughout the course of the season, at the end of the season, and we'll see, was this a success or what wasn't it. But I can't see any reason it wouldn't be, to be honest. Very quick fact, compared to our last machine, it is a foot longer, and it is same width. So starting here, we have an ability to put it on the pickup hitch instead of using a drawbar, which is very handy, but there could be a tendency, if you lock on hard, to catch the tire in the drawbar. So I may just put it on a drawbar on the tractor in due course, but we'll see how we get on with that for a while. It is very handy and makes picking it up very easy. Also, this stand is pretty much like a truck stand. It is a truck stand, and that's brilliant. It reminded me of the old Lely welder days. It makes taking off the baler a lot easier than dropping on a stand and trying to line up a pin in the drawbar and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely one thing I like. One thing I think is a bit silly, where they put the tap here for locking the door. It's just a bit awkward to get your hand in. Even if it was moved over a small little bit, it would have been a big improvement. But anyway, that's a little thing. Another brilliant touch here, magnets on the steps, so that's not going to be flopping or anything like that. That's going to stay there. And they also supply you with a little spanner here that sits into a groove there for opening your panels, which is going to get lost, but no, I'll need two hands to do this. So we'll go around the other side now and open the other one, because we may as well get all that over and done with in the one go. Right, so that's our panels open. Put back our spanner. So I suppose we'll start at this side. Big oil tank, which I think she holds roughly about enough stuff to do 1,000 bales or something like that, between oil and grease, but we'll show you the grease on the other side. Funnily enough, I think Kuhn recommend engine oil opposed to chain oil, which I suppose chain oil is hard to pump, but you would imagine it would increase chain life, but it's severe on pumps. It is extremely hard stuff to pump. So the one everyone does be asking about, and personally, which I think is a brilliant system, is the film on film setup on the Kuhns, which is your two ordinary 750mm rolls of plastic, which you would use on the back of the wrapper or any wrapper that's out there on the market currently, and it just feeds in where your knit would feed in. Although they are routed through different bars, you can put your knit on the front, just hook it on there, and it's a simple swap over when you need to swap between film and knit. One dislike I have in this area is, see this red handle here? You have to pull that up to feed your film in to start off. So every 150 or 60 bales or something. But you've no handle at this side, so my theory is you put two rolls of film on the front there for the film on film part. You go to that side, you put on that one, and you open up your clamp you come to this side, you put on that one, you open your clamp, put in your roll of plastic. But if you were able to lock it back in here, it'd be handy, because you could already have that panel closed, ready to go on to the next one. You just have to walk around the machine once more is all. But you know, if you do that 5-6 times every day, then it's probably get a bit annoying after a while, I would say. But to be fair, it's a small complaint. Our pickup is our baler is 540, and our pickup has a cam track. So some people may say going away from camless and 1,000 speed is maybe a step backwards, but I never really shined with the former pickup. Would you keep kicking grass, short grass? The place would be a disgrace after it. There'd be grass short. It couldn't pick short grass really. It was leaving most of it after it. So this seems an improvement on that. When we were baling today with it, the grass we were picking up last pickup would have left a lot of grass after it. I would have thought, I got the impression that this pickup was better to actually pick the grass up. Our integrated rotor auger system seems flawless so far. Obviously time will tell with that, but its appetite is quite amazing, and its feed is it's just totally different looking into this. I had a couple of as you will have known, I had a couple of things I disliked about the last one. One was we were throwing grass very aggressively at the top of the rotor, and the rotor then had to bring that grass down and in, whereas this is it's just a seamless sequence. You can just see the grass flowing into the machine. It seems a lot nicer system, to be fair. So moving on from that to an ordinary round baler, always your chains are at the other side. This one, your main drive, is on this side. I honestly don't know why that is, but it's just the way it is. I can't see any problem with that or anything. It's just when you open the panel and you see all the chains here, it's a bit different. Your wheels are fixed; they don't swing and back out of the way, but they're inside your back tires, so no impact on you whatsoever. Another thing that's maybe a little bit of an annoyance, but it's not really a big problem. You do need to line up two shafts every now and again here and give them a shot of grease in there, and that's a bit of work in that. You know, you need to get it lined up in the right place to get the two grease nipples. But then again, it's not into the world stuff. It's not that would turn me off. Onto our next panel, and it's just a plastic storage setup. Lovely little handy latch on it there for opening it, and you can store plastic inside here. You have plenty of storage for plastic on the machine, and here you can work your wrapper functions and door functions and stuff like that from the outside. You just put that little spanner in there and you're able to work the functions, which is very handy indeed. Even nice little thing to be able to do is you can open your cutting ties, you can put in your bit of plastic there and close down your cutting ties again, and you've no tails hanging around the place. So the transfer on them is slightly different. Well, it's not slightly different, it's totally different. The bale comes out, and we'll actually go in and get a proper look at it. To go in here, you need to pull this lid back, so it's a safety thing that you can't wrap while you're in here. So basically she spits the bale out and onto this guy. Now on the film versions, this roller turns obviously, so the film won't tear, and these guide plates also come up with it, that if you're on the side of a hill, it stops the bale from turning before it lands here. But it does all this pretty quickly. The door opens. I'll include a bit of footage of this happening actually. The door opens, it throws the bale out onto the wrapper. You do have to wait until your back door goes down again, which doesn't take long, and she wraps away, and it wraps very quickly indeed. One thing about the Kuhns, they have IntelliWrap, and a lot of you might ask me, what is IntelliWrap? Well, normally your plastic overlaps 50%. So you can't put on one layer of plastic, you have to put on two. Now the minimum for end-siling silage is 4. Plastic just won't work in less than 4 layers. So that's 16 ordinary wraps on the on a conventional wrapper. That's 16 wraps. If you went around at 8, that would be a full coverage of the bale. Every one of us has wrapped with an ordinary baler, and it's going around and around, and once you get to 8, your full bale is covered, but that plastic has half overlapped itself. So essentially the bale is covered twice then, and that's where you get your 4 layers. Sorry, your 2 layers of film, and when you go to 16 then you have 4 layers. So what the Kuhn does is it speeds up this roller here, the turns, and your overlap is different, so you're able to put on either 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 layers. Now it's been years since we put on 8 layers. An awful lot of people put on 6, but they'll be able to cut that back to 5 now, which will be a saving on plastic, and also with our film binding it will be a big saving for them as well. So my idea is, when I come into the field, if it's a decent job, or a big job I should say, if there's going to be 150, 200 bales there, I'm going to put all the farmer's plastic on the machine. I'll say to the farmer, if you want film on it, then you just get me 2 extra rolls of plastic. We'll be able to put the ordinary rolls on the front of it, and I'll be coming on, and I won't have to supply anything, which is going to suit me. If this plan works, it's going to suit me big time, because my expenses are going to be far, far less at the end of the year. The machine was a lot more to buy it, but I'm not going to have to go out and buy a heap of plastic, which is something I kind of don't want to have to do. So I can rock up to the field, put everything supplied by the farmer on the machine, make his bales, I leave, and I'm just charging for baling and wrapping. Then I'm not charging for film, or I'm not charging for film on the front. So that, it makes sense to me. Whether it'll make sense in practice is another question, but we'll see in time. She has her own work lights, and they're controlled through the control box, which is a nice touch, and it comes with camera as standard, I think. So out we go. One thing I love is loading the film. I think it's way easier when the rolls are standing this way. I never really took to the other system. I always found it a bit slow or a bit annoying, you know. You can stand here, you have a roll of plastic, bang, on your dispensers, go to the other side, open our panel, bang, on, finish. No closing panels and all of that carry on. So I like that touch, very much so. Now moving on to here is your spare roll of net storage, which could be a bit awkward to get it out of there and up onto the machine, but anyway, again, small little problem. And a decent automatic greaser, and I like them. You can see her doing her thing there while you're baling away as well, which is a nice little feature indeed. So that's pretty much a walk around the machine. We'll go into the cab now and look at the control box. Okay, so this is our CCI 800 terminal, it's called. Basically, if you have any other Kuhn machines, and I think it will also work with other brands of machines, it's basically an isobus screed. If I had the tractor with isobus, I wouldn't need this at all. It'll just plug straight into my tractor. But I don't have an isobus tractor, so that's why I have this. So, for example, I can put the camera full size on the screen there if I want to. Back onto this lead. At setting the amount of film layers on the bale. I was only trying at a 3 as a little bit of an experiment. I left the bales there for a couple of hours, see did the crows do any damage, and it didn't. That was my idea behind it. If there's, you know, three layers of film on, and then there is 5 layers of plastic on the back, then the bale should be so well wrapped and so well preserved that there should be a crow shouldn't possibly be able to damage the bales. So I'll test the theory further on as we go, and as the lads get further and further ahead of me drawing the bales, we'll test the theory, see how it works, and if that works, then it's a game changer. So here we are now into all the baler's functions. Basically, when she's working, she's cycling through all these. The green highlight here moves from that's intake. Next one is film binding. That's transfer, wrapping, wrap cycle finished. Here you can see a percentage graph, like you would have seen in the welders years ago. And when it gets up to 80%, it then tells you to either steer left or steer right to make your bale square and uniform. Obviously you have your knife symbol up there to tell us our knives are engaged. You can drop your knives or drop your rotor and knives here with this button. You can turn on your lights, and you can also go into density settings and bale size as well. But that's when you're in here, this is your basic working screen. That's here, you can do everything manually, so you can lift the door, drop the door, drop your back table, lift your knives, lift your transfer table, and turn your wrapping satellites. There's more to it as well, but I am just getting to learn this after all. So yeah, that's the basics of that. I haven't used the netting yet. That's telling you how much net you're putting on, but I haven't used any of them features yet. So it should be interesting to see how we get on. I do like the machine and I like the concept of it. Like I said, there was a few little bits and pieces there I would have showed you that I think could maybe be improved upon, but I have to say, so far, the guys coming to set it up, do all of those things, have been excellent. They've went above and beyond now, to be fair, so far, and I hope to God that relationship lasts for a long time, and that's, you know, that strive to having a bit of pride in their product and looking after their customers. I hope that continues. That was kind of one thing we were, I suppose, missing in the past, but yeah, brilliant service. They were here setting up the machine. They went up baling with us, set us up with the machine, all of that. Now, you know, it is a new machine to us. I know they wouldn't do that with every one of them, of course, but we weren't just sent off on our way with stuff missing and loose and all those kind of problems that you would have, or you shouldn't have, but you could get. So it was checked and all of that. So yeah, there was a big kudos to them for that. Much appreciated. Proper customer service, something that not everybody seems to know how to do in this day and age. It's shocking. You wouldn't imagine that would happen, but anyway. So that's the machine, and that's its basics. And yeah, I must back it into the shed now, back it out of the, hopefully we don't get any rain, but back it out of the weather, and just get to using it now is the next part.